For a really long time in my life, I used to look at all of these great people, actors, writers, filmmakers, singers, and I used to wonder, what do I want to do in life? Do I like singing? Do I want to be a motivational speaker? Now I realized that what I wanted was to have something to do. I wanted to be passionate about something to the point where weekends are harder than weekdays because you just love the thing you do so much. I think that's not a realization that I could have possibly come across as a kid just because that's not how society tells you to think. Yes, at this point we've promoted the idea of loving what you do and the importance of that, but I still don't think that we've reached a point where we want to love what we do. Rather, every kid grows up thinking, I want to be a TikToker, I want to be a YouTuber, maybe some fireman still here and there, an astronaut maybe, but we're so focused on the triviality of everything. But the truth is, life is just not that simple. As a kid, I used to look up to all of these celebrities and all these people doing these great things, you know? And I used to wonder how they found that something that gives them life. Not that I couldn't find it, because I was never a kid who didn't know what to do. Simply that I was so alienated by the fact that they were living their lives and they loved it. They were so obsessed with life because their life was the same as their dreams. Don't get me wrong, I used to love my dreams, but to think that I could ever love life the same way was insane. I mean, I still don't think I've reached that point at all, but at least now I feel like I know where I'm looking. The reason I believe these people genuinely loved what they were doing, and the thing that I found so amazing in the way that they lived their lives, was that I don't think they followed a profession. Instead, they followed their heart, followed their passion, followed whatever gave them life. They found that feeling of, I want to do this, and they stuck with it until the very end. So here's the thing about dreams. We tell ourselves from a very young age, oh, I want to be a singer, I want to be a motivational speaker, I want to go to space, I want to be a neuroscientist. So we say these things and then we spend the rest of our lives waiting for someone to give us some sort of approval, to say, okay, yes, you can do this. That's kind of weird. And I believe this applies more to artistic professions, more so than, say, neuroscience or whatever. But the question is, do you want to sing or do you want to have people listen to your singing? Do you want to sing or do you want to have people refer to you as a singer? Do you want to make films or do you want to be famous? Do you want to act or do you want to go down a red carpet? Do you want to write or do you want to simply have people read something that you wrote? In everything I just mentioned, there's one option that needs someone's approval. To go on the red carpet, you need to be chosen. You need to be found. You need to have a Hollywood director find you, cast you, bring you to the red carpet. You need to have all these things aligned. Similarly, to have people read your books, you need people to want to read your books. If you want to be listened to as a singer, you need to have the people. You need to have a label. You need to have someone find you, approve of you, decide to sign you, all these things. While the other option doesn't depend on anyone but you. Whether you like it or not, the dreams that only depend on you are the only ones worth pursuing. Yes, you can and should set trivial milestones. It's okay for a writer to want to be signed and bought and read. It's okay for a singer to want to find a label. All of these are absolutely normal, but these milestones are not where you start. I'm starting to believe that for you to love the work you do, you have to start by having it a hobby, simply because unless you do that first, you're never going to know whether it is the milestones and the praise you get that you enjoy and feel fulfilled by, or the activity itself. What will make you happy regardless of the results? What would you still do if you were absolutely horrible at it? What would you do even if you knew you would fail? What are those activities and hobbies that you would actually pursue regardless of how others saw you? What are the things you keep finding yourself coming back to? What are the things you enjoy regardless of the feedback you get? What are the things that don't depend on anyone but you? Essentially, that's what they mean when they say follow your heart. It's more like follow your passion. I believe that's the only place we'll ever find true happiness. It's also scary pursuing something without knowing whether you can do it or not. It's almost impossible to pursue something without thinking of whether you're good or not. But all these things like fear, self-doubt, being in your head in regards to all of this are things that I believe should be saved up for their own discussions. And going back to what I found so much fascination in as a kid, it's not the professions that all these amazing people took on. It's the way those professions filled them up, the way they genuinely enjoyed their lives and what they were doing. That's the thing that we find so cool about all these people, and the only reason we as a society see that in celebrities more so than ordinary people is because that's where the spotlight is. It's so much easier to see what's going on with celebrities than what's going on with other people, but the truth is you can be passionate about things that are considered mundane by whatever societal standards. It's not about being under the spotlight or doing all these things that society finds incredible. It's about finding the passion. And the thing is, I believe that if you take the time to think about it, you'll find that to be true. You'll find yourself wanting the passion, not necessarily the lifestyle. So look for your passion. I feel like that's the only thing that's ever gonna guide us anywhere at all.